Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. What a beautiful day out there. I'm excited to share Republic Services story with you all today. Today, I have Rochelle Klein. She's the Municipal Services Manager for Republic Services. And I have Billy Cecil. He's the Fleet Manager there at our local Republic Services. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm terrific. I'm so excited to dive into the Republic Services and share what you guys got going on. But first, I got to thank our series sponsor for these chamber check-ins. And Billy and Rochelle, it's Delta Dental of Idaho. You guys know Delta Dental of Idaho has been providing dental insurance benefits for Idahoans for over 50 years. And their programs are backed and designed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I get to share one of their fun factoids from their Tooth Truth series. Easy for me to say. Here we go.
Did you know that teeth are the hardest substance in the human body? I did.
Thank you, Delta Dental. And with that, I get to introduce Rochelle Klein and Billy Cecil. Hi, you guys.
How you doing?
Hello.
I love to start these off by not only talking about the businesses that are being featured and are part of the chamber in this community, but I also like to share the stories of the people behind these businesses. So maybe you, Rochelle and Billy, can give me a quick background of your guys' history of work before we dive into the Republic Services story. So let's start with you, Rochelle.
Sure. My background actually is in clinical chemistry. So I worked in that field for about 5 years before taking a break to have kids. And while I was staying with our kids, I got into the world of trash and trying to minimize what I recognized at home. And so that led me over into the waste reduction recycling world. And I've been in this now for about 16 years with Republic Services.
Wow. Okay, Billy, tell us your story here too.
Well, in 1992, I came up here to Boise, Idaho, and started with a company called BFI, which was Allied, and then now it's Republic. So been with the company for quite a long time. I've been in transportation most of my life. I've been a mechanic most of my life, and so it's just really exciting today to be on your podcast today.
Awesome. And we also have Bob Bennett, who I'll bring into here in a second, and he'll get to share some stuff as soon as he gets his sound issue dialed in. With that, now tell us, how did Republic Services come to this market and when? And I guess we'll start with Rochelle.
So we've actually been in this market for about 42 years now. And as Billy mentioned, we came in as BFI back in the day. And then similar to the aerospace industry, we've not changed our offices, but we've changed our shirts and who we work for. So it was BFI, and then BFI was bought out by Allied Waste, and then Allied Waste was bought out by Republic Services. So it's essentially the same team that's been trekking along together for the last 42 years. And we've had some people start with us that are still here today.
Wow. Billy, what can you add about kind of the origin story of Republic Services here in our market?
Well, I know we've always been dedicated to, the Treasure Valley here and taking care of our customers. It's really nice, and it's a good feeling to work for a company that's, just really good. We have excellent people here, good customer service, and great equipment to take care of the customers.
I know several employees that have worked with you for many, many years and into a couple decades. I see we have Bob Bennett chiming in. Let me bring him into the stream here. You ready, Bob?
I think so. Can you hear me okay?
Gotcha.
There we go.
So, Bob, thanks for taking a little bit of time. Why don't you introduce yourself and what your role is with Republic Services?
Yep. My name is Bob Bennett, and I'm the general manager with Republic Services. Been with the company 8 years. Been here in Idaho a little bit over a year. So been around the block a little bit, seen some different places, and absolutely love Idaho.
That's awesome. Welcome to the stream here. Bob, I've been talking with Rochelle and Billy here a little bit, and today's event is just to share more about Republic Services and how they are involved with their community. Obviously, Republic Services, you've seen the trucks. They take care of our trash, our recycling, and there's also some new stuff that we get to talk about today. But first, let's talk about the commitment to environment. That's such a big thing. And I don't know which one of you want to take this. Maybe Rochelle, you can start. But I was researching your website the other day, and thank you guys for keeping your website up and current, because I saw a lot of cool stuff on there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, Bob, do you want to go first, or do you want me to take a crack at it?
Why don't you start,
Bob? Okay, so I'll start. So I'll just start by saying we really are the solid waste industry leader when it comes to sustainability and environment. We are the first large company in the United States, solid waste company, to set sustainability goals in 2014, and then put into place measurable metrics that we every year would trek toward to reduce our carbon emissions and protect the environment, and particularly around air quality. That's been a big deal for us. And it's not just here locally. I mean, it's every business unit is challenged all across the country to reduce our impact on the environment. Some local ways, I don't know if you want to hear how we do this locally, if that helps. So maybe I'll hit on a few, and then Billy probably can add a few, but just locally, some of our pollution prevention measures are idle reduction technology in all of our trucks. So if the trucks are idling for 5 minutes or more, the engine just shuts off. So we're not in the business of just letting trucks idle and generate any kind of emissions. And our drivers are trained how to minimize their fuel use. So like accelerate and decelerate slowly, maintain constant speeds, check their tire pressure before and after routes. And then I'll let Billy hit the truck tires and fluids and things that we do also.
Okay, as far as tires, we try to we've tried to use like a super single tire. This takes away 2 tires, so you end up with only 1 tire replacing 2 on a axle. So what happens is it gives you the ability to use 1 tire that's 11,000 pounds. It reduces your 8 tires in the back down to 4. So that reduces the amount of waste that we have for our tire scraps. So, and it also, it's a benefit too for fuel economy. So it does cut down because they're lighter, they're more flexible, and so it cuts down our fuel economy, it helps our fuel economy, sorry. Right. And so we try to do that to as many of the trucks we can, is, to improve the fuel economy and also reduce the waste of tires. Truck fluids, all of our truck fluids are synthetics. So we use synthetics throughout the fleet. So in the engines, the transmissions, the differentials, everything's synthetic, down to the grease that we grease the chassis with is 100% synthetic. Wow. So we continually try to minimize the maintenance, and by doing that, by using synthetics, we're able to do that.
And Billy recycles everything, including oil filters, yes. Everything, to reduce our waste. And one of the cool things that we've done recently in the city of Meridian too is we tapped into their purple pipe, which is their reclaimed water coming out of their wastewater treatment facility. So we tapped into that, and we're getting ready to use that for landscaping out there and for washing our dumpsters. I mean, there's no reason to use drinking water to wash out trucks and containers and things like that. So we're getting ready to use that. And then Billy and I both were part of the 2009 conversion. I think one of our biggest pollution prevention measures we have right now is our fleet is largely running on renewable natural gas even now. So that's we buy gas from Intermountain Gas to fuel our fleet, and then we have a contract with Clean Energy to put renewable natural gas, which is generated from like wastewater treatment facilities and landfills and dairy digesters. That problematic methane, we pay to have it scrubbed to pipeline quality and injected, and that's what we use to fuel our trucks.
Wow.
And Billy said we currently have 158 trucks running on compressed natural gas. So that's kind of cool. I don't know, Bob, we probably went a little long on that, but did you want to add anything on the environmental front?
Well, the only thing I'd add to that, this is not just our company industry. I mean, we put hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of trucks on the road every day to pick up people's recycling and waste as an industry. And so, the trucks is one of the bigger opportunities we have from an environmental standpoint. And one of the things I've definitely been impressed with here, Billy is the best. People will argue with him on that, but I mean, he's definitely one of the best maintenance managers we have in our entire company and probably the industry. And what this team has done here with the renewable natural gas, being the first with the CNG trucks, because it's, anytime you start different technology, it's scary. We are very blessed to have him in this marketplace doing that, because not very many people could pull off what he's pulled off from a fleet standpoint.
Bob, you said you have.
And that's a good point. I was just going to say, Paul, what Bob was saying is really important, because when we find something that works, and in this area, Boise area, that was our first natural gas fleet in the country. And when we find something works well, we stamp it out everywhere else in the country. So what started here is now everywhere else.
Well, I think what would be a good segue, because you're talking about starting here in Boise, there's something else that just happened that I would love to share about what you guys have launched and partnered with throughout the city. So I don't want to steal your thunder, but who wants to tell the listeners about what has just been launched recently?
Go ahead, Rochelle. You were driving it.
Okay. I was going to say, So Billy and I were just talking about this. We started this journey over 2.5 years ago, and the journey is to fleet electrification. So it's a natural next step for us to get rid of the internal combustion engine. And there were a number of reasons why we decided to look at electric trucks. Now we think the technology is here, and Class 8 vehicles, the heavy duty vehicles that we run, which are like factories on wheels, we had to time it just right to make sure the technology was here to start servicing our customers with these zero emission trucks. So we were really fortunate to write a grant, and through DEQ, we got a grant to offset 45% of the infrastructure and the truck costs. And so we have 10 all electric trash trucks coming. We have 3, I think, now in the area, or 2 here and 1 coming in the next week, which is really cool. And, these are Peterbilt and McNeilus trucks. So I'll let Billy talk more about that. You want to talk more about like the kind of trucks we bought and where they're manufactured?
Yeah, so they're Peterbilt 520 cab over trucks that we're using. It'll be the cab of choice and the electric truck of choice. And those are manufactured in Denton, Texas. And the body that we're using is a McNeilus body, rear load, side load, which could pick up residential or commercial. And we're purchasing those out of McNeilus, which is an Oshkosh company out of Minnesota, Dodge City, Minnesota, Dodge Center, Minnesota. And so we've had really good support with those 2 companies. Again, we've been chasing this for about 2.5 years. We do have 2 units on the ground running, and so far so good. It's the drivers do like them. They like the quiet. They like the performance. The performance is good, and the compaction. Everything on the truck is working as we expected. And so there's been no kind of hidden things yet. And we're excited to start this.
Wow.
And I think what Billy was, he's talking about where these trucks are made. These are all U.S. made trucks, U.S. made jobs, supporting the U.S. economy, which was really critical to Republic Services that we had a partner here in the U.S. To support. And for a lot of reasons, if Billy orders parts from some legacy partner of ours, they're here right away. And good partnerships there. And with ChargePoint, and I should also say we got a grant from DEQ, but we also got a grant from Idaho Power, which was really very nice too, to support. We need a new transformer because we're going to be tracking all this data on these electric trucks. And I don't know, Bob, do you want to jump in? Billy and I get so excited. We don't want to edge you out.
No, it's okay, because you guys started this. But I think one of the things that's important to note with the electric trucks or any other technology, one of the unique things about our business is we can't fail. You imagine what happens if we go a week without picking up trash, like the world's on fire. And so we're one of those industries that we just can't get it wrong. And so a lot of the work that went into this was, hey, this is new technology. Some of it's experimental. We have to have a product that, just like us, does not fail, goes out and runs a full route and is able to get the job done. And that's one of the things with this project that's been impressive and fun is our partners have worked with us. And we now have 2 trucks in the market that can make it a full day on route and won't fail. And, Billy's been a big part of that because like any new technology, we've had little bugs and things we've had to work out of the system. But, the intent here is that we have a truck that makes it full day on route. We get the trash picked up like we promised that we're going to do. And that technology is going to work. And we started with a particular type of truck that doesn't draw a lot of energy. The next step is to get it into some of our trucks that draw a lot more energy and get them at the same level so that over time, we have more electric trucks in the different types of business that we do. But it's been a great process. Boise's been a phenomenal business partner, working with us on this. And I will say too, our vendors, Billy expects a lot of them, and they've been Johnny on the spot because this is all new to them as well.
And
I would add, if I could, that when we're going to have these electric trash trucks from Republic coming down into our neighborhoods, you better have a bell on them because I can't hear them, and that's my cue to take my trash out. So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I will tell you one of the concerns. So I'm an operator by trade, and one of my concerns is from a safety standpoint. When children hear the loud truck, most of them stay away. And we actually have to teach our drivers how to count kids going in and out of cul-de-sacs to keep track of them.
Yeah.
And with how quiet they are, we've even talked about adding ambient noise just from a safety standpoint. And so, that's one of those things you don't think about when you start this thing, but we're definitely thinking about it right now.
That's cool. That's cool. I was at your ribbon cutting a few weeks ago, and it was incredible to talk with some of the manufacturers, the Peterbilt folks and the McInnes folks on how what this means for the U.S. Right? You have a couple trucks. You're planning on about 10 more. What does it look like in 5 to 10 years? Do you see an entire fleet of electric vehicles, or how does that work?
Well, we hope so. I guess probably have to ask Bob to answer that for us. But I think one of my favorite things about electric trucks is number one, we have the right place to launch, right? Because Idaho Power has pretty clean energy with hydropower and wind and solar and some natural gas. We've got a really great energy portfolio, and I like the resiliency of being able to power our own fleet no matter what goes on in the world, and gas prices can rise and fall and diesel prices can rise and fall, and we're going to be able to pick up the trash. And as long as we've got some power generated here in Idaho, we're going to be able to get our jobs done. And I think that's really important. And then also just being zero emission. So I think this has been a rough summer with all the fires, and a lot of these fires weren't even in our own state. And so, but we were sort of the collecting valley of a lot of smoke. And I mean, these trucks aren't the silver bullet to get rid of all, to improve air quality entirely, but they certainly can minimize our impact when we have to deal with an airshed that we share. So it's definitely, when you see those poor air quality days, it's nice to have a zero emission truck getting work done.
Right. Okay. Hey, let's make sure we talk about hiring and what positions you guys, how are you guys feeling the pinch as well on getting, retaining and attracting talent? Tell us a little bit about that and what some of your needs are.
Oh boy, this is a big topic for me.
Right.
Yeah, we felt the pinch, and I mean the industry, the whole country has felt the pinch, and so I will tell you that in my last 6 to 9 months, I've spent more time focusing on hiring and retention and people topics than I had in the previous 20 years.
Wow.
It's been pretty amazing. Now for us here locally, we had a little bit of a pinch in June and July. We've come out of that. We've done things recruiting wise that we hadn't done before. We also took a look at wages. So for businesses listening, all of us have to do that because that's the market we're in, and we made some adjustments that have made an impact. But I mean, it's tough right now. what I would always encourage, leaders to do when you got a problem like this, sit down as a team and start figuring it out, because unfortunately, I don't think this is going away. And if you look at, and I've talked to my team about this, if you look across the company, or today, we took a driver out to lunch at Subway. They're not open until 11 o'clock. They were short staffed. We as business leaders have to adjust to this new reality, because this could last us a couple of years. And I know it's a hardship. One thing that, our business, and I brought this up before, we can't fail. We can't shut our doors for a couple of days, produce less items. And so I think we have to be more sensitive to it than maybe some other industries, that if they have to shrink a little bit, they can get away with it. We can't do that.
Right.
Yeah. But Paul, one thing that we have, which is really neat, first of all, I think it's a fantastic company to work for, and we are big enough that we're almost always hiring. And you can just go to republicservices.com and click on the careers tab to see what's out there in our area. But one of the neat things that we have is a driver trainee program. So we're regularly taking people who want to be drivers but maybe don't have their CDL, and we help cover the costs of the CDL and the medical card and the CDL test to get really great people in our trucks to start their career. And we've been really successful with that. People who've come to work with us, and just the automated services that we offer allow more women to work for us, which is fantastic. And we're a diverse employer, really inclusive. That's really important to our business unit locally and our company, that we really want to retain and attract a whole, diverse and inclusive group of people. So, and we're always hiring, just because we're so big. There's always, we had 3 people retire in 1 month, and that was, beautiful, yet sad for us at the same time. And so we always have to fill those people with, folks that we hope stay another 40 years with us.
Wow. Well, hey, we're coming towards the end of our time here for this live stream conversation. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of opportunity. If there's anything we didn't talk about that you'd like to educate the listeners on today, what's that? One last thing.
Go ahead, Rochelle.
I would just say, we are here to support the communities that we serve. So we give back in every community. We're grateful members of the chamber. We appreciate all you do to support us. And, in every community, we hope that, we reflect the needs in that community. And charitable giving is definitely it's a core value of ours. And we're here to stay and continue that trend.
Yeah, and I'm going to be old-fashioned for a second and just thank the community for the business. Our people live here, work here, especially here in Idaho. None of us want to leave, and so we really care, and we just appreciate the relationship we've got with the communities here, because it's been absolutely phenomenal to become part of the Treasure Valley team. So thank you.
That's awesome, Billy. Thank you for the work that you're doing to run that fleet. I can already tell that you run a great crew over there. And Rochelle, thank you so much for your investment of time with us. You've been an amazing partner with us. Bob, it's so nice to meet you today, even though via screen. I look forward to future conversations with you all. And what you said, you've been members you've been in Idaho for 40
since 79.
So, and if you were here in 79, our records show that you've been a member since 1978. So
maybe I was off by a year.
what that tells me is that community stewardship rings true, because when you enter the communities you serve, you invest in those communities. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. And thank you so much for the service that you provide this community.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys.